Okay, I'm usually doing, Bible truth stories or something about some ancient culture, but this is about our culture. This is a nice story that one of my listeners sent me, and because he knows the lady, he's from Australia, and he says she lives not far from him. It was something that happened in his hometown. Not that he like knows her, like, oh yeah, we go out all the time. No, no, no. He it happened in his hometown, and it's a story about a Doberman and a rescue dog that they had gotten to match their red Doberman that they got. The red Doberman's here on the right, and it's a girl, and they had gotten a boy, and to match them. And so here unfolds the story. Here is, you always worry about animals, and especially Dobermans. And this animal was known to have been a rescue animal from somebody that was somewhat abusive. Although it acted real nice, it seemed like it was a little brash, and it had pretty much knocked over the girl a couple of times, and things, and pawed her and scratched her a couple of times, but in just trying to play. But the weird thing happens one day whenever they find the dog out in the yard, and it's barking like crazy. And so she's let her daughter out there in the yard, and she's going around with the dog, and it's barking like crazy. And all of a sudden, it acts violent to the kid and bumps it a couple of times, grabs it by by the kid by the diaper and the pants, and slings it across the yard while it's yelping. And they can't quite tell. My picture there gave it away. They can't quite tell what's happened, but they've always had a good relationship with the dog, but they didn't know what happened. It was a horror. And the lady ran over there to find her kid and pick her up. The kid was in shock and crying like kids would be right then, couldn't even breathe. And the dog fell down and collapsed like this. Well, she took it to the emergency room, and it had been bitten by a brown snake. And they're poisonous. They're going to kill you. And she had gotten the antivenom to it. Just, you know, and they hoped he was going to make it through it and find out about it. The kid had a slight scratch on the back of her ass where she had it, and now they've grown up. This had happened a couple of years ago, and look, she's a whole lot older now. And anyhow, it's just a neat, heartwarming story about dogs, and you always hear these horror stories about what could happen, and what uh, and oh, I left her with the baby or this, that, and the other. Well, now there's a snake. And that dog went over there playing around, all of a sudden saw that snake and just started growling and everything. And the kid must have made a gesture towards the snake. And she grabbed that kid and slung her across the yard like, no. And in the process, she got bit. Well, he got bit. But good thing is, he made it. It took a couple of days of recovery to it, and he started eating right off the bat. And the vet said that's a real good sign. And they wondered if he was going to make it, but he started eating right off the bat, and he made it back from it. Although he's you see how strong and thick he is now. He's not strong and thick like that anymore. It took a lot out of him to have done it, but he did it for his new family that helped save him. So y'all try to get some rescue dogs. Be real careful with animals around your children, but rescue a dog, rescue an animal. There's no more better love than an animal can give you back for what you give them. Thanks.